to continue growing, we can't just rely fully on just like competitor campaigns. We have to actually look for new targets. And again, that's where I would focus really heavily on like, what are people actually looking for? All right. How may I help you today, ma'am?
Team is actually launching campaigns with general keywords, but the search terms that are being triggered are our own brand names. So like they started negating our own brand names from the search terms from those general keyword campaigns. And it's just like, I don't know, it just has been really hard. And I explained that to a client, like being like super aligned on your brand name is actually hurting, and they understand. But I really wanted to try something different.
So something that might help you, and it looks like we do have some that are set up right now. Typically speaking, the way that we have utilized portfolios in the past under advertising, right, is we build them out based on each one of the different types of, products that we're doing. I would build out a couple of specific portfolios with campaigns based on exactly what it is you're trying to do. So if your team is, for instance, negating branded keywords, that's not always a bad thing. If your goal for a campaign is solely just trying to hit, for instance, new to brand, and solely trying to hit only essentially keywords that are non-branded, right? And so I would literally create a portfolio that is unbranded ads, right? Or anything along those lines. And only create campaigns. And those campaigns are ones that you negate branded search terms in, because you're trying to grow your overall volume within those keywords. Great area, again, to just start that would be, again, looking at essentially your top competitors within that 1 to 50 range and looking at what they have from a targeted keyword perspective or sponsored keyword. You can just use Cerebro for that, and seeing where it is they are currently pushing money towards. That would be essentially the best way to start looking for some of those auxiliary targets.
I'll just tell my team to be more aggressive on launching more.
And the big thing with like the non-branded versus the self-branded ones, with the portfolios, is you just have to be very specific and be like, only negate within the non-branded, allow the branded within the self-branded ones. A lot of the product looks like it's held up, right, by the brand, which it probably is, because the brand has huge presence off Amazon. But to continue growing, we can't just rely fully on just like competitor campaigns, especially if we're not, the cheapest option in the world. We have to actually look for new targets. And again, that's where I would focus really heavily on like, what are people actually looking for? So I would focus pretty heavily on like broad. So, look for word phrases, 1 word to 2 word phrases. Focus those on a broad match type, only against ones that also, again, those top 50 competitors are also advertising on.
Okay. Yeah. I'll double check with my team, I guess. And when did you know you did everything and that you want to move to DSP? Like we should like be able to index in those general keywords before pitching that. Or what do you think?
Yeah, I probably would. You want to essentially at least be indexing for them first and foremost. I actually would say, how has your sponsored display been?
Actually, my team launched several of those campaigns recently, and they were working well.
So you guys have spent about $2,000 so far in the last month on sponsored display, and it got us about $6,000. I might focus a little bit more, again, on creating some of those audiences, which is our high value audiences, right? So these are people that essentially purchase a lot and usually purchase within the category. These are going to be a great audience bid modifier. It's going to still be fairly low ACoS at the end of the day for us to target this, but this is the type of people that we want to target if we're trying to move up the ladder in ranking as a whole. The next ones that I would do, audiences that added to cart, did not repurchase, simple retargeting. Pair this alongside a brand tailored promotion. If you haven't, or if you're not doing that already, I would do that from a retargeting standpoint. I would also do the high value new to brand customers. So this is where you're actually going to be essentially from an audience group moving the needle a little bit more, in the sense of trying to get away from just being fully sponsored brand, right? Because big issue is where you guys are currently at when you have such organic volume and growth. It's because people know the brand. So what we need to do is we need to introduce new to brand customers so we can essentially get them into that funnel. Yes, it's going to raise our tacos initially for a little while, but eventually those people becomes things such as subscribe and save customers, right? And those people would essentially then lower that tacos down again, becoming organic sales in the future. And then finally, I would look at doing high value customer segments. So your high value customer segments are going to be ones who are purchasing within the category, very, very similar to, again, our high value audiences solution. But the high value customer segments is going to be specifically for essentially only the top ranking purchasers within the category. If you see a good result from that, then I would say, yeah, it's probably a really good idea to move over, especially with that new to brand audience type, because that's essentially what you're going to be focusing on, and the retargeting on DSP. Those are like the two biggest areas for DSP targeting in general. And so if you see good results on the display, then I would then be like, yeah, it's probably a good idea to do DSP. DSP isn't just going to grow their Amazon side. It also will help on their off Amazon side.